Right, guys, welcome back to another video, the rule of 7. Today I'm just going to kind of glaze over the Fibonacci retracement tool, which is, if you go down on the third box, it's this one here. We'll crack straight into it. You've got all these figures that have been spit out by, well, Leonardo Fibonacci, who invented the Fibonacci sequence, Italian mathematician. He worked it all out very cleverly. And yeah, he basically figured this sequence out. So it's been made into a tool for trading, but we'll go through it. I don't use it. I can see why people use it. I just use this, which we'll go through in a minute. But yeah, so let's get straight to it. We'll leave that on. This is the daily on Euro USD. It doesn't matter if this was the 1 minute, the 1 second, the 15 minute, 30 minute. On each time frame, you've got the same kind of thing. You've got impulse. It's all it is where your swing low is. So you can have a swing low on a 15 minute. If you're entering on like a 1 minute, you can set your fib up on the 15 minute swing low. You can set it up on the daily. I'm going to show you the daily now, because it's the same on every time frame. There's no point me going through every time frame. You can imagine this is the 1 minute, because if you go down to the 1 minute, you will find the trend, and basically the low, say the low that's took the high out, you put it on the low, blah blah blah, go to the high, and then you figure out where you want the retracement. But we'll jump into it now. Right, so over here, as you see, this is the fib. Now, first things first, let's get rid of it and just get a fresh one. So this is the daily, but it could be any. So over here, we've got your swing low and the high there. That high broke this low, and then it created a new low, for instance. And as you can see, we've got a lot. It's pretty clean price action. Not every pair looks like this, to be fair, but if it's not clear, don't enter. So right, so there's your swing points. You grab the fib. You go from the top of the well, obviously, if you're looking at a buy market, you go the opposite. So you go from the start of it to the end of it. But what I would say is, to stop confusing yourself, is double click it, get rid of these two, 236 and 382. Just get rid of them completely. You don't want to be entering anywhere in that zone for a sell. If you are, then more than likely you're going to be used as inducement. Now, inducement is, so I'll do both ways. So there's your swing low. So basically, if you did the same on this, there's your swing high to swing low. As you can see, this point is within this area. This is premium pricing. A lot of people say it's discount, but it's not. It's premium. It's more expensive pricing for us to get in, so we don't want to get in there. If it creates a high, yes, it might just sink, but play it safe and only enter in this kind of area. Now, this area here, between that area, a lot of people refer to, it's not the one. 2 seconds, I'll make it a bit brighter. There we go. A lot of people call this the golden zone. Now, it doesn't always react to there. It does a lot of the time, yeah. But it's more what happens within that kind of area that is more interesting than you just putting a sell limit on or a buy limit and just getting in at that area every time. You need to know why you're getting in. So that's what they call the golden zone, is between the 0.5 and the 0.618. So it just so happens that as I've drew this, it's gone into it, which, yeah. So let's get rid of that. That's the golden zone. And the other bit I want to mention is, so which I started on and then I waffled on and got on to something else. This area will be treated as liquidity. So a lot of early buyers, early sellers, not buyers. If you're buying, then bloody hell, you might get one off. So you got early sellers getting in there. Right, so that's your early sellers. And obviously it's not even tapped in to our discount bit. Our discount is ideally above the 50%. The higher it goes, almost the better chance. And also those of you who know about order blocks, sometimes you've got an extreme order block there, which it can go all the way up to and then tap in. So, but it doesn't always go to the extreme. So don't wait on the extreme every time. Don't wait for it. Just when it gets into the 50%, the discounted 50%, you want to be looking for, in this case, because we're selling, you want to be looking for lower lows and lower highs. So so as soon as it gets past the 50%, you want to see something like this. So we've tapped in just above the 50%. So if we get the fib out on this one, perfect. So we've tapped just above the 50%. Then it might just sink there, which is fine. You might get in, but if not, don't worry, because more than likely, like I said over here, inducement, which is liquidity, which is basically resting money, like money that's set up to be took later on. That's basically what inducement is. It's a level with money ready to be took later on. So yeah, so we've tapped in past the 50%. You want to be waiting really for this to get swept. So this whole move here, so that whole move there has swept the inducement level. That's took the high, and then this one has swept the whole lot. That's got a bit messy, but yeah, you get the idea. See if I can do it. Obviously, I've got shaky hands, but yeah. So that's took the high and it's took the low. So now you want to be interested in selling. So obviously we're in the right area of the fib. We're let's make a bit of 2 seconds. Oh no, it's not even what I want. Right. Yeah, so pretty much back to the fib. You want to enter after the 50%. The golden zone people like to enter is between the 0.5 and 0.618. It doesn't always react from there. You mainly want to look for this setup, but you want to find this setup in the top half of the fib retracement tool. The higher it goes, it's not always the best chance of it sinking or going up in the buy bias case. You just kind of have to not play it by ear, but you want to watch live price action. You want to see if it's finally broke the low that created the high. So this is the low that created the high. As soon as that high takes that low out and then starts making lower lows, then you can get in and you can aim effectively. Your first target can be the bottom of the swing or the high if it's buys. So yeah, I mean, it's dead simple in a way, but don't overcomplicate it. If anything, you can get rid, well, pretty much what my tool is, I got rid of the 0.78 and 0.6. So as long as, I'll move that out of the way, as long as price has retraced into this area, then I'm looking for an entry. If I get my lower time confirmation, say I'm looking at the hourly trend, swing low on the hourly, if it's in that zone and I start to get lower lows, lower highs, and it's swept the liquidity past the 50%, then I'm looking for an entry. So the fib, people love the fib, but it's the numbers. they obviously mean something, but people get overcomplicated. Same with I forgot the theory. There's a theory that's very similar to it's actually how I learn. I forgot what it's called now. I'll do a video on it. But yeah, pretty much. So don't overcomplicate it. We'll leave the 618 on and the 786 for now. But you don't need to enter any specific points. As long as it's within this within this area, I don't know what. Yeah, as long as it's within that area, then you want to look for an entry. So if we go down to this, so like we said, all right, let's move my ugly mug out of the way. So yeah, there's the high that broke the low. So that is our swing. And then as you can see, in fact, this is almost perfect. I'll zoom in a bit. So we've gone straight past the these two figures that we deleted. We don't need them. I don't use the fib, so I don't really know them off by heart. Yeah, so we've tapped in, as you can see. In fact, this is a perfect example, and I didn't find this beforehand. I could see the swings, but I didn't find this inducement. So that is liquidity. So as you can see, it's just like if you were rushing in, getting in, and it was near the 50% and you got in, you might have got a quick 1R, but you've been used as liquidity basically. They've took your money, they've set money there for them to take. They've then swept you, and then in one swoop, they've took the low as well. And then your perfect entry, I'm not going to set it up, but your perfect entry would be basically over 50% of this sweep here. So if we just drop it there, and obviously you cover the high, you go for the low, there's a 4.2 straight win. So we'll get rid of that though. I don't want to confuse things. So early sellers get in there. They then get took out. We tap into the golden zone, which it doesn't always go into the golden zone. But either way, we've tapped in past the 50% mark of the swing. We've then took the low, which means we're changing direction. And then you wait for the retracement. You get in there, and then you sink to the low. So yeah, let's bring that forwards, make that a bit clearer. Apparently it always is. Different, right? So yeah, so don't be liquidity, don't be inducement. Wait. If it sinks, you've not lost out because you've not entered. So don't have FOMO. I mean, everyone gets FOMO. I still get it these days, but you've got to limit it the best you can. And obviously emotions, as you know, are the hardest part of this game. But yeah, that's your fib. Let's have a look, see if we can find any other opportunities. So let's get rid of this. We'll leave that on because that's... So your next swing, is this high that broke the low, which then this low, because then it retraced, it went past this buy candle, and we started to retrace, and then we used inducement there, liquidity there. Same again, early sellers would have been took out. Perfect. So in fact, we will leave that on, because then you can see it that it's actually happened on this one as well. Then it might be a bit clearer. You get in there, you sink, you aim for the bottom of the swing or the high if you're buying. Let's get your fib on. Fib goes to the top. One goes at the start of the swing. 0 goes to the end of the swing. Get rid of them two figures. You want to be entering. See, this is just it's close. You might have not got in this. I don't know if we're bang on there. Somebody's put a big yellow. Let's have a look. Let's see. You might have gotten it. It's touched the 50% line. You might have got in. If you did, you're in for a win. If you didn't, you've not lost anything. But either way, So we've tapped in. We've got early sellers here. So that again, that is liquidity. It's just a follow. It's just the same kind of things you're looking for on every trade pretty much. Don't be liquidity, take the liquidity. So that's your inducement level. So early sellers, yes, they might have got a 1R, but then it got swept. And then as soon as you could tell it gets swept, you then sink down here and then you find an entry. You might not have got an entry there, or you waited, and mind you, that's nearly a double top, so I probably wouldn't have got in there. But on a smaller time frame, there might have been a nice entry here, because if you can find a liquidity sweep, liquidity sweeps happen on every time frame. It's just a manipulated market. So yeah, there's your downfall straight up. You enter there, you then get took out. You then start to take the low. You take the whole low, and then you could almost use this as the order block if that's passed, because that took the low. So then that would be the new swing, and then you sell there, and you technically aim for the low, but you can aim further past. So let's remove that one for now. But yeah, so let me just clear that. When this loads, it's so slow. I've got my new camera coming tomorrow, so I've gone blurry now as well for some reason. See if that's any better. No, I'm still blurry, apparently. Right, so let's just clear the charts. So what I use, guys, is, and what you can do the same, is this tool here. It's just so much clearer. It's like the fib, but my green is the start. So we started there, and this was the end of the that was the finish of the trend of the swing, sorry. And obviously we're same again, very close to 50%. If it's in red, I'm not entering. I might get the odd FOMO, but 95%, 98% of the time, I'm not entering in the red. I want to wait till we're actually in discount pricing. So, and that to me looks so much smarter than that. It doesn't look bad, but you want to keep your chart as clean and crisp as possible. So yeah, but it does the same job as long as you're past the 50%, and you can always just aim for the golden zone. And as soon as you're in your golden zone, you can look for your entry, but always wait for confirmation on a lower time frame. So, and like I said, the confirmation was basically taking a level that pushed up, taking the low from that level as well. So if we're buying, oh, we got big there. So, and you want to, if we're buying and we want to find a sell, we want to obviously look for this. And then, so we've got the inducement level, the low's been took, and then we enter there. And then it's the opposite. So there, take that low, and then we enter there. Same again. Obviously this one here, you'll be looking for sells. This one here, it's a sell market, but you're looking for buys. Sorry, it's a buy market, but it's a sell retracement, but you're looking for buys. So this will be your inducement or liquidity. As soon as this gets swept, then you know the trend has changed because it's in one swoop, and then you can enter here. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'll leave that with you. Hopefully you find it useful. Yeah. So you can obviously use whichever you want. I just find this a bit cleaner. But yeah, and obviously you can look for order blocks and double tops that get took out within the green zone above the 50%. That might help. So yeah, hopefully that helps you all, and I'll see you on the next one.